Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our guided reading cycle. We are going to continue with the story of Cole's kingdom. Now, excuse me, you will remember that Cole has travelled to this magical land and he gave the king the magical seal. However, Cole was kidnapped and he found out that the king was not as kind as he first seemed. Cole was in the house with the twins who kidnapped him and their mother, Yognar. And then suddenly people and animals from the palace appeared and gave a huge talk to the crowd. So Cole he's in a disguise, and they've all headed to the town square or the village square to hear what the people from the palace have got to say about the magical seal. I'm going to read the last paragraph and then I'll start on what we're doing today. Cole looked around to see a figure dressed in a dark cloak. Cole stared at it, but its face was obscured by the darkness under a heavy hood. Shorter than most of the crowd, the figure was easy to miss, but Cole thought that there was something secretive in the way it held its cloak over its bowed head. Psst! Redbush, Mika hissed in the direction of the stranger. When it lifted its head slightly to shoot her a sideways glance, Cole saw long, delicate whiskers and dark fur framing two large black eyes. Still not used to seeing overgrown animals wearing clothes, Cole scanned the crowd, but all he saw were people like Yognar and the twins. Now, scan. When you scan something, you're looking very carefully. While the palace had been full of animals behaving like humans, he had seen none outside of the city of Alfar besides this squirrel. Cole wondered why it was lurking so cautiously among the crowd. When you're lurking, you're hanging around and waiting in a suspicious way. Is there going to be a meeting tonight? Mika was whispering. Redbush nodded. Absolutely, he said in an undertone. Carefully, he leaned this way and that to avoid the gaze of the large white wolf. So, the gaze. When you gaze at someone, you're staring at them. So, this character, he is trying to avoid looking at the wolf, who seemed to be scouring the square with her amber eyes. Scouring. We usually use the word scouring when we're cleaning something like the floor and we're cleaning it with a lot of effort. But if you're looking and you're scouring somewhere with your eyes, you're really searching with your eyes. And it says her amber eyes, and amber is a type of yellow. So this character, Redbush, is trying not to be seen by the wolf. I've been putting feelers out for a while. I've got people interested from Ferlin, Putkip, and even Narwan. They'll all be here tonight. This is too good an opportunity to miss. We'll be here, said Mika, her expression burning with defiance. Shh, said Piog with a glance towards Yognar. Redbush winked and backed into the crowd. Who was that? Asked Cole. Redbush, Piog muttered. He's a fighter like us. On the steps, the wolves were stalking up and down, growling to bring the crowd to order. The lady continued. In his infinite majesty and wisdom, King Enk has decreed that the citizens of Ferlin will be permitted to celebrate in their own homes in honour of the seal's return. There will be a ball and a banquet for the citizens of Alfar. So a banquet is a huge feast, a huge meal. And a small shipment of food shall be supplied for the Derians to celebrate. During the celebrations, King Enk himself will bring together the seal of Ferlin and its fellows. She paused for effect, her chest heaving with self-importance, and the prosperous future of Darius will be secured. A wave of uncertainty washed across the crowd. Cole picked up snippets of resigned agreement. So if you pick up a snippet, it's a bit of a conversation. Barely contained fury and question upon question from little ones. With the crowd subdued, the word subdued is like calmed, but when you've been forced into calm. The envoy and the rest of the entourage swept into a waiting carriage. The wolves bounded alongside as four gleaming horses trotted from the square in the direction of the looming mountain city of Alfar. As the Derians tramped from the square, Mika couldn't contain herself. I hate him. I hate him, he's just rubbing it in. That seal belongs to us. Piog nodded, and Yognar sighed. It hardly changes things, Mika, said Yognar wearily, so that means in a tired voice. We don't have the seal before, and we don't have it now. But Mum, now he has them all. Plus, now we have a chance of getting it back. Yognar stopped dead. Don't you dare, my girl. I'm warning you. No more foolish schemes. I don't want the resistance bringing you home from the palace in pieces. You hear me? Mika grumbled but said nothing more. Now it's high time you two got Cole back to his portal, and then you've got to make the latest delivery to the palace. Got it? Okay, so we're going to do 3 questions now. So the first one says, find and copy one word which means anger. Please pause this video on this screen and look for the word here which means anger. Okay, welcome back. Barely contained fury. The word fury means anger. What does Yogna mean when she says bringing you home from the palace in pieces? Press pause while you read this extract, and then I'd like you to write what does she mean when she says bringing you home from the palace in pieces. Okay, so if you think about, if you have a cup or a plate and you drop it, it will smash into pieces. When we say that we don't want a person brought home in pieces, it means we don't want them to get injured and to be brought back injured. So it's a metaphor. So you need to have written, she means she doesn't want her to be brought home injured or hurt. Now the last question is, why might Redbrush be avoiding the wolf's gaze? Now if you remember, when you avoid someone's gaze, you're trying not to catch them and look at them in the eyes. So have a think about that. Press pause while you write your answer. Okay, so he's probably avoiding her gaze because he doesn't want to be arrested. Because if he is somebody who's against the king, the wolf is probably looking for him or people like that. So, we'll stop there and we will carry on with the next lesson. I believe that will be lesson 26 tomorrow. Thanks for taking part, and I look forward to reading your answers.